All right, hello. It's Chris here from AVA Distribution. I've set up the RGB Link Mini MX today, and I'm going to do a little bit of a webinar on what I do when I system design. So here at AVA Distribution, we've got a ton of brands and a ton of products to build complete solutions. So I thought today I'd run you through my methodology. And just sort of show you how I visualize a system design or a system scope and then build all the required hardware around it. So, So we're going to jump into it now. We've gone to site, we've grabbed a system scope, we've got all the information from the customer, and they've pretty much told us they want a presentation system with recording. They want it as standalone as possible, so which means preset-based. Essentially for anyone to use. Someone wants to come in, hit system on, the system just fires up. Everything's ready to go. We want to try and automate as much as we can. So this might be for a classroom, teaching, presentation space. They've sort of given us the idea, think automated TED Talks. So cool. Let's jump into it. So we've asked them what they need. They need essentially a big central screen. So we're going to go with a 135-inch LED wall, 2 displays each side of this venue. They want a HDMI input at the presenter, HDMI input side stage. Then we need the audio side of it. So the presenter microphone, the lectern. We're also going to back that up with a ceiling tile mic as well. We're going to put a ceiling tile mic in the audience to pick up the audience. We need to obviously grab HDMI audio. And then for reinforcement, we're going to use a bunch of speakers and subs for front of house and then some fallback for people on stage to hear. The capture and recording part where the client wants just 2 PTZ cameras. Because we want it automated, we need a cam director, which is essentially an automated switcher. And then we need the recorder component to sum the audio and video together into a record. So we're going to run this on a standalone network, and they do want some control. So a controller at the lectern and a controller side stage. So yeah, we are going to jump in now, and I use Microsoft Whiteboard for my first point of design so I can visualize everything. You'll see what I do. I go to my website, I snip the little pictures out of my website, put them in the whiteboard, and then just draw up sort of the solution there. So yeah, we can jump straight into that. Alrighty. So, we're going to start with a blank canvas here. I am quickly just going to go to our website and get started. So let's work on the displays first. So 135-inch LED wall. So that will be our Unilumin UTV series. So we are going to go with this one here. And this is essentially what I do. I just go in and snip the products out with the snipping tool, copy and paste them in to the whiteboard. So I'm going to build the solution now. So side stage monitors. Let's go. What else we got here? We want some commercial grade monitors. So let's use some Panasonic 50 inches in this regard. The sizing and obviously stuff, you can confirm that all with the client. All right, cool. So let's have a look now. We want a HDMI input at the presenter. So we're going to run that. Let's choose to run this all AV over IP. So we'll use the KDS range of Kramer. And I believe they have a wall plate, which will be... All right, so we want a encoder. Going to use this bad boy. And so we're going to duplicate them because we need 2. One presenter, one side stage. Now, audio-wise, we're going to choose a lectern mic. So lecterns are are condenser microphones generally. So let's just choose one of these. So you see we do Electro Voice as well. I'm going to put that over the presenter area. Now, what else do we need? We need audience microphones and ceiling tiles for the stage as well. So we're going to go these ones here. The Yamaha Desia range. Very cool Dante PoE powered microphones. So we're going to chuck one. So essentially we need two. Grab those, move them over here. So yeah, you can see now I'm just building all the hardware required. So we also need HDMI audio. That's going to be, we can decide to pull the audio from the encoding side or the decoding side. So I am going to pull it from the decoding side. So the KDS series here. And so these range of decoders match up with the encoders. So we're going to put a decoder at every display. Cool. And then one little trick I like to do is pull the audio right out at the display end. We're going to choose that. And we're going to pull that out of our main display. So I'm going to make these ones a bit bigger. So you can see Whiteboard is very easy to use. It just helps me visualize the system. All right, cool. Now let's keep moving on. What do we got? We got speakers, front of house, subs, and fallback. Obviously, this depends on the size of the room. Let's just think of a medium size, sort of like a half basketball court. Let's go with that. So I like the CZR speakers. So chuck audio in now. So 2 front of house. And we'll go some powered subs. Let's go DXS15s. So yeah, all this stuff on the daily is available at AVA. And we build solutions like this all the time. Okay, cool. Now we need amps to drive these. Not the subs though, because they're powered. So let's choose a PX10. Cool. So we've got a PX10 here. Now, to take all the audio in and out, we need a DSP. And because we've got Dante, we're going to use the Dante DSP. So we can grab that and use that. And so I like to just line them up, make them look a little pretty. Cool. All right, now let's move on. What else do we need? Oh, we need fallback. All right, so let's also use some powered fallback. So we use the DHR12Ms, I believe, the monitors. So we're going to add some of them in. Make them a bit bigger. Okay, a system is coming together. Now, next, the capture and recording component. So 2 PTZ cameras. I like the CM70 series, 20 times zoom. Not the NDI. They do come in an NDI and IP range, and some of the higher models come with Dante. So the CM70 IPW. Now, this works with the cam director as well. So you've got to be wary choosing the right cameras to suit the automated switcher, which is the cam director, the CD500. CD-500? Nope, CD500. Here it is. Okay. All right, cool. Now, what else do we need? The recording component. So let's just use the Mini MX is what I'm using now. It's like a little RGB link, sort of prosumer level recorder. It's actually very intuitive. And essentially, once you set this up, there is an API for it. You can trigger the record on and off via the network. So this is just going to live in the rack, set and forget. So there are other options in the RGB link range that do the same thing, but this is what I'm using today, so I'm just going to use this one. All right, cool. Now, the network and control side. So standalone network, they want a controller at lectern and controller at side stage. So the Netgear stuff is the go, especially for AV applications. Another regular stock diamond mover at AVA. Full of all the pre-configured profiles you need for AV over IP. Okay. Now the controllers. So we're a big Kramer house. We use Kramer control. A virtual brain is what we need to take the commands from the touch panels and convert them into strings. And those strings trigger all the stuff we need. So we're just going to go some small wall mount controllers here. So we're going to mount one on the lectern. And we're going to mount one side stage as well. Cool, so that's all the hardware, I believe. I'll probably add more as we go. So yeah, now I am going to essentially make it a bit more visually pleasing, box everything up, and then sort of put it all around in a nice looking format, and then I'm going to run all my cables and connections. So yeah, that's the next step. So let's do that now. Okay, cool. So essentially, I've put all the bits and pieces now in, and I've started cabling up everything. So I like to just put everything in boxes with their names, and then I start to work out all the cabling requirements. So a lot of this, being an AV over IP system, is all in a network switch. So we communicate with everything via the network. So I've started putting all my decoders back. I've started putting my control in, my encoders, so my inputs, HDMI vision inputs. And yeah, we will pick up and continue on from here. Let's go. Okay, cool. That's what I was after. All right, so we can see now that everything is cabled up. Let's just double check everything. So speaker-wise, we've got our fallbacks. We got 2 analog connections in from the DSP. We got our subs. We got 2 analog connections in from the DSP. The speakers here are passive, so they need a power amp, so they're red for speaker cable. Green for our XLR interconnects. Cool, we got a send from the system here into the recorder. Audio-wise, because it's Dante, the mics come into the network, and then because the DSP is connected also, it can pull that Dante audio signal directly into the DSP. Once it's in the DSP, we can then send it to the recorder, or we can actually send, say, the presentation ceiling tile as another pickup, like a stage pickup, and send it out front of house, or probably not fallback, because it will get lots of feedback. But yeah, out of front of house speakers for a bit of reinforcement. So this system is very flexible in that regard. Likewise with the lectern mic. So the D panel here, this provides 48 volt phantom power. It is PoE powered. So we plug our condenser microphone in, and then we put it on the Dante network. With our HDMIs, we've got our two. So the scope wanted one at the lectern, one at the side stage. So they're PoE powered as well, straight into the network switch. Our controllers, PoE powered as well, into the network switch. We've got our control brain, the cam director, and the PTZ cameras. So two cameras. There's mounts as well. I haven't put them in for the moment. They connect into the CD500 cam director. So this also, for the auto switching, needs a license. So it needs the voice tracking license. So I'm just going to add that in there. And I believe the code is CD track to 1-8 to pick up 1 to 8 zones. So when we program this, we can actually program it in a way to use the ceiling tile microphones, positioning data, and create zones in our venue. So when audio is picked up from those zones within a 4.5 meter sort of radius per microphone. So on the stage, as someone walks across the stage, we can actually pinpoint that. Once they enter that zone, we can trigger a camera preset to move that camera straight to that person. So as they walk, you can also enable another tracking license on a per camera basis, which means that you can use the auto switcher. Once they enter that zone, it switches to the zone, and then it starts to just follow them across the stage. It's very cool. We've started including a lot of this stuff in our system designs because people do just want to walk up and press system on, and off you go. So yeah, this solution here, being AV over IP, we're pretty much sending everything audio, video via the network. Because these are encoders and decoders, we can instantly switch any encoder to any decoder. So, yeah, it's pretty much all set up then via the control system. So in the control system, with Kramer control and the brain, we can be able to trigger anything we need. Camera presets, audio presets, record start and stop, display switching, system volume. Yeah, so that's really the methodology that I use to help visualize my system design, put it into Whiteboard, and then if the quote's successful and we win it, well, then I will create a proper schematic with all the information required. But this is my starting point to quote. So yeah, I hope you you pulled something from that today, and yeah.